Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is a chemistry session. Here we are discussing about the chapter atoms and molecules. In this session, we are going to see practice sheet related to the chapter. In the earlier session, we have seen practice sheet 1, which contains completely single correct answer type questions. Now, in this session, we are going to see practice sheet 2, which contains different kinds of questions like multi correct answer type, comprehension paragraph, matrix matching, assertion region, statement type, analytical approach. So in this way, different kinds of questions we are going to see in this practice sheet. So let us start the practice sheet with multi-correct answer type questions. Here, each question will be having 4 options out of 4. There may be one or more than one correct answers. So read the question and answer carefully. So choose the correct answers. Okay, see the first question. Which of the following molecules have same atomicity as that of chlorine? They're asking about atomicity. Which elements are having same atomicity as that of chlorine? We know what does it mean atomicity. What is meant by atomicity? The number of atoms present in one molecule of an element is called atomicity of that element. Now, what is atomicity of chlorine? We know the molecular formula of chlorine as Cl2, means there are two atoms of chlorine in each molecule of chlorine. What we can say now atomicity of chlorine? 2. So atomicity of chlorine is 2 now. In the given options, which elements are having atomicity 2? Those will be correct answers, isn't it? See the first one, nitrogen. The molecular formula of nitrogen is N2. So in nitrogen also there are two atoms only. Now we can say atomicity of nitrogen is also 2. What about hydrogen? We write the molecular formula of hydrogen as H2. So its atomicity is also 2. Okay. And if you see carbon dioxide, what is the molecular formula of carbon dioxide? CO2. Now, how many atoms are there in each molecule? There are 3 atoms. So, atomicity of carbon dioxide is 3. If we see ozone, ozone molecular formula is O3. So, its atomicity is 3. Now, which elements are having atomicity 2? Chlorine, nitrogen, nitrogen and hydrogen. These two are okay. They asked here. Sorry, it is oxygen, not ozone. Atomicity is 2. Oxygen atomicity is 2 because the molecular formula is O2. Now, the molecules nitrogen, hydrogen and oxygen, these elements are having same atomicity 2 as that of chlorine. Okay, now the correct answer will be A, B, D. But carbon dioxide is having atomicity 3, not 2. Next question. 1 mole of sodium represents. What does it represent 1 mole of sodium? 1 mole of sodium represents its gram atomic weight of sodium. The gram atomic weight of sodium is 23. That means 1 mole of sodium represents 23 grams of sodium. That also represents 1 mole of sodium atoms. What does it mean 1 mole here? We know 1 mole means 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. These many atoms of sodium represented by 1 mole. So 1 mole of sodium represents 23 grams of sodium and 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 atoms of sodium. These two are correct regarding 1 mole of sodium. Okay, these two will be correct answer now. Next, see the next question. 1 mole of hydrogen gas represents. What will be it containing? They're asking here. 1 mole of hydrogen. You know, any substance, 1 mole of any substance represents 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 particles in it. As it is said here, 1 mole of hydrogen gas, it represents or it contains 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules of hydrogen. So it is correct. We know the molecular formula of hydrogen gas is H2, means each molecule has two atoms. So as there are 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, so 2 into this number gives number of atoms because there are two atoms in each molecule. Now it contains 2 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 hydrogen atoms. So this is also correct. Okay. And we know 1 mole of any gas occupies 22.4 liters of volume at STP. This is also true regarding 1 mole of hydrogen. This occupies 22.4 liters of volume because they mentioned here 1 mole of hydrogen. So it is also correct. Next, it weighs 2 grams. Yes, we know the molecular mass of hydrogen is 2. So 1 mole of hydrogen gas weighs gram molecular weight. Gram molecular weight of hydrogen becomes now 2 grams. So this is also correct. So these all statements are true about 1 mole of hydrogen. Okay, next one. Which of the following gases occupy same volume? So which gas occupies same volume? See here, 1 mole of hydrogen gas occupies. What is the volume occupied by 1 mole of hydrogen? We know 1 mole of any gas occupies 22.4 liters of volume at STP. So they mentioned here just 1 mole. So 1 mole of hydrogen occupies 22.4 liters volume. We got its volume. Second one, 16 grams of oxygen is given. We know 1 mole of oxygen weighs its gram molecular weight, that is 32 grams. So 32 grams of oxygen occupies 22.4 liters volume because it is molar, 1 mole. But they mentioned here 16 grams. So 16 grams nothing but half mole. So half mole, how much it occupies volume? 1 mole occupies 22.4 liters. Half mole of oxygen occupies 11.2 liters of volume. Half molar volume. Okay. Next one. 4 grams of helium. We know gram molecular weight of helium is 1. That means 1 mole of helium is given. We know 1 mole of any gas at STP occupies 22.4 liters of volume. Last one say 20 grams of neon. 20 grams is its a gram molecular weight. Gram molecular weight of any gas also occupies 22.4 liters. Now these three gases occupying 22.4 liters of volume at STP. But here oxygen is given half mole, so it is occupying only 11.2 liters only. Except this, the remaining three are occupying same volume. Okay, these three are correct answers. Next, comprehension paragraph. Let us see the paragraph given. The chemical reactions of two or more atoms to form new product is carried out by many laws. Yes, the chemical combinations are carried out by many laws. We have studied in the earlier classes. So based upon these chemical laws, some questions they are going to give here. See the first one. Who laid the foundation of law of chemical combinations? So he was Antony Lavoisier. He given the law of conservation of was first. Okay, Antony Lavoisier. Next, matter is neither be created nor be destroyed during a chemical reaction. This is an agreement with the law of, yeah, which law states that as matter is neither be created nor be destroyed during a chemical reaction. It is in accordance with law of conservation of mass. Okay, law of conservation of mass states that matter or mass matter is neither be created nor be destroyed. So here we discussed as atoms neither be created nor be destroyed. These all considered as matter. Matter neither be created nor be destroyed during a chemical reaction. Just it reforms. It changes its form, that's it. Okay, this is in agreement with law of conservation of mass, which was proposed by Antony Lavoisier. Okay, next question. The percentage of copper and oxygen in samples of copper oxide obtained by different methods were found to be the same. This illustrates the law of. So what is the statement given here? See, the percentage of copper and oxygen is being same in all the samples collected in copper oxide. This illustrates law of definite proportions, which is also called law of constant proportions. Means in the formation of a compound, the percentage composition of the elements will be fixed. This is illustrated in the law called law of constant proportions or law of definite proportions. Okay, it is correct. Next one, matrix matching type. See the matching given here. Some elements are given in the column 1 and their Latin names are given in column 2. Try to match these elements. See the first one, iron. What is the Latin name for iron? Ferrum. What is the Latin name of lead? Its Latin name is plumbum. Copper, its Latin name is cuprum. Antimony, stibium. Okay, try to match these properly now. See matching given here. Observe it. Iron, ferrum, lead, plumbum, copper, cuprum, antimony, stibium. So this is the correct matching. Observe it once. Just they have given elements on their Latin names. We have matched those. One more matching is given here. Match the molecular formula given in column 1 with the empirical formula given in column 2. So some molecular formula are given in column 1. Sorry, actually they have given molecular formula in column 2 and they're asking to match this with their empirical formula in the column 1. Empirical formula means the formula obtained when is highest common factor is taken from their formula. See, CH empirical formula they have given here. So which of these molecules will get the empirical formula CH? So the molecule in which number of carbon and hydrogen atoms are being same, for them empirical formula will be CH after the elimination of highest common factor. See the first one, C6H6 is the molecular formula. If you remove the highest common factor from this as 6, it gets its empirical formula as CH. So for this the empirical formula is CH. What is the empirical formula of methane? As there is no common factor in the number of atoms, the molecular formula itself is becoming here its empirical formula also. See here the third one, C2H2, which is called acetylene. If you remove the common factor 2 from these number of atoms, the empirical formula will be obtained as CH for this. See the fourth one, C2H6, which is called ethane. If you remove the common factor 2 from these two number of atoms, it becomes CH3. CH3 is its empirical formula. See the last one, C2H4. The highest common factor can be eliminated is here 2. So if you remove that, it becomes CH2. Now try to match this with the empirical formula given. CH is empirical formula of two compounds, C6 and C6H6 and C2H2. CH2 is empirical formula of ethane, which is called C2H4. CH3, C2H6. Okay. See the matching given here. CH is for two compounds, benzene and acetylene. CH2 is empirical formula of C2H4. CH3 is empirical formula of C2H6. CH4 is empirical formula of methane. Directly the molecular formula also same, CH4. Okay, observe these ones. How do we get empirical formula from molecular formula? When a highest common factor from the number of atoms of each element is eliminated, then the obtained formula is called empirical formula. The formula which represents the simplest ratio of atoms present in a molecule is called empirical formula. Okay. Next, integer answer type questions. Let us see here. First one, number of moles present in 500 grams of calcium carbonate. They're asking to calculate number of moles. For calculating number of moles, we have a formula, that is number of moles is equal to given weight by gram molecular weight. Here the given weight is taken in grams, that is 500 grams. Gram molecular weight of calcium carbonate is 100 because the molecular formula of calcium carbonate is CaCO3, isn't it? So the molecular formula of calcium carbonate is CaCO3. If we calculate the molecular weight for this compound, we get it as 100 because atomic weight of calcium is 40, plus there is one carbon atom 12, and each atomic weight of oxygen is 16. There are 3 oxygen atoms. So 16 into 3 becomes 48. We sum these all, we get it as 100. So the molecular weight of carbon dioxide, calcium carbonate is 100. So we have substituted value, we get number of moles as 5. The formula used here for calculating number of moles is number of moles is equal to given weight in grams by gram molecular weight. We get it as 5 here. Okay, next question. Atomicity of ozone is. What does it mean by atomicity? The number of atoms present in one molecule of an element. We know the molecular formula of ozone as O3, and there are 3 atoms of oxygen in each molecule. Hence, the atomicity of ozone will be 3. Got it? Next one. Atomic mass of helium. What is atomic mass of helium? 4. Because its nucleus has 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Mass is because of those two, and the mass of each particle of those is 1 unit. As there are 4 particles, total mass becomes 4 units, and hence atomic mass is 4. Next, statement type questions. See the first question among this. Atoms are the basic units from which molecules and ions are formed. Isn't it? It is correct statement. Atoms are the fundamental and basic units of every matter. From these atoms, either molecules or ions are being formed. By the combination of one or two atoms, molecules are formed. Either by losing or gaining of electrons by these atoms, ions are formed. So this statement is true. Atoms are always neutral in nature. Can we say this as true? No. Atoms, of course. Atoms, if you say, they will be neutral, because if you say an atom, it contains equal number of electrons and protons. So don't be confused here. If it is mentioned as ion, its number of electrons may vary, then it may not be neutral. Sometimes positive ions will be having positive charge. Some ions, by gaining electrons, they get negative charge. But if it's an atom, in atom, number of electrons and protons will be equal, and hence they will be neutral. So it is given both the statements are true here. Okay, next one. Molecular mass of oxygen is 16. Is it true? No, because molecular formula of oxygen is 2, O2. There are 2 oxygen atoms. Atomic mass of each oxygen atom is 16, or atomic weight of oxygen is 16. This statement is true. Second statement is true because the atomic weight of oxygen is 16 only. But the molecular mass or molecular weight of oxygen is 2 into 16, that is 32, not 16. So molecular mass of oxygen is not 16, but atomic mass of oxygen is 16. Statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. No, second answer is correct. Okay. Next, assertion reason type questions. See the assertion given for this question. Pure water obtained from different sources always contain hydrogen and oxygen combined in the ratio 1 is to 8 by mass. Yes, it is correct. However you prepare water, from wherever you collect water, its composition is being always fixed. Its composition is in the ratio 1 is to 8 by mass with hydrogen and oxygen. So this statement is correct. And reason what they have given for this statement, A chemical compound always contain elements combined together in same proportion by mass. Yes, it is correct actually. Reason for that, isn't it? In the formation of a compound, elements always combine the simple whole number ratios, fixed ratios. That was explained in the law of constant proportions or law of definite proportions. So this is also correct. So and a assertion reason both are correct, and even reason is the correct explanation for assertion. Where is it? In the first answer. Okay, that's correct. So the next one. 1 mole of hydrogen and nitrogen each occupy 22.4 liters of volume at STP. Is it correct? Yes. 1 mole of any gas at STP occupies 22.4 liters of volume irrespective of their molecular formulae and molecular weights. Whatever the gas it is. If 1 mole of any gas occupies 22.4 liters of volume at STP. So assertion is correct. What reason they have given? The same what we told now. 1 mole of any gas at STP occupies 22.4 liters of volume. So this is also correct. Both are correct here. And it is explanation correct explanation also. So for this also what we get answer? A. Assertion, reason both are correct, and reason is the correct explanation of A. So A is correct answer. This is correct, right? Next, analytical approach questions. See the first one. They have given some statement here. See, two bulbs B1 and B2 have equal capacity, and they contain 10 grams of oxygen and ozone respectively. Okay, there are two bulbs. One contains oxygen, other one contains ozone gas. Both are having equal capacity. That means both are equal volume at same conditions. Let us let us consider here temperature and pressure are similar and constant for both. Okay, at these conditions, let us see the questions given based upon this. Which bulb will have greater number of oxygen atoms? See, both the elements given here are made up of same kind of atoms, of course, oxygen and ozone, isn't it? Now they're asking which one will be having more number of oxygen atoms, which will be having either bulb B1 or bulb B2. We know equal volumes of all gases contain equal number of molecules at similar conditions. So they mentioned here these two bulbs B1 and B2 contain same volume. So equal volumes of gases are there in that. Now equal volumes of both the gases contain same number of molecules. So now the number of molecules of oxygen and ozone both are same. Number of molecules are same. But we know oxygen molecules contain two atoms only. Each molecule contains two atoms. Whereas if you see ozone, its molecular formula is O3. So there are three atoms in each molecule. The number of molecules is same because volume is same. But number of atoms in each molecule is being different. It has only two electrons, whereas ozone has three atoms. So it has only two atoms. Now which will be having greater number of atoms overall? Ozone. Okay. Both oxygen and ozone in the bulb contain same number of molecules. Hence, number of atoms will be greater in bulb B2 because ozone has more number of atoms in each molecule. Got it? So bulb B2 is the correct answer. Now, see the next question on the same. Which bulb will have greater number of molecules? As I told, equal volumes, both the bulbs will contain same number of molecules because equal volumes of all gases occupy same equal volumes of all gases contain same number of molecules at a similar conditions. Okay, these are the about level 2 questions. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our YouTube channel AIMS Today and visit our website aimstoday.in for latest updates and recorded videos.